All right, so today we're going to be talking about a very toxic run concept that you guys can utilize to get your Vanguard blockers really going. Now, with this particular setup, what you guys are going to prioritize is Vanguards on tight ends or offensive linemen. If you cannot get the Vanguard on those players, target Nasty Streak. And if you can't get Nasty Streak or your wide receivers are out there and they don't have the ability to Vanguard people, you will utilize honorary linemen. So everybody that blocks on this concept has one of those three abilities, and you're going to notice some really insane results out of this. Now, to contrast the concept I'm going to be using here today, my entire defense has either reinforcement or out my way or run stuffer. So they, in theory, should play the best possible defense that you guys could possibly play from a run stopping perspective. And what we're going to be doing is talking about the mid draw. You see, the thing about the mid draw is that offensive linemen do not fire out and attack the offensive line. What they will do is drop back into pass sets, let the defense back up thinking it's a pass play, and then they will target to the second level if they don't have someone rushing them to make an impact block. That is where the Vanguard dominates. That is where the Nasty Streak dominates. That is where honorary lineman on impact blocks allows for your wide receivers to be able to have good outcomes. Now, you see right here in this example, I will not have honorary lineman, Nasty Streak, or Vanguard on these two players. And then we'll do a little bit of a change here to show you how much deeper this tip gets. But the thing about draws that is really, really nice is that you also have the ability to slide your protection. So when you take a look at it, unfortunately, I can't do that here because I have two controllers going. You can actually slide your line left and right so you can determine which offensive linemen are blocking the defensive linemen. And that changes the gaps that you might be able to hit once your ball carrier takes the handoff. So let's go ahead here and kind of start off with a draw. And you're going to see here how this works. You see right here in this example, we have the out my way on my Tremaine Edmonds. And in this example, he is able to neutralize my Vanguard center in this example. So this is why I'm telling you guys that in yesterday's video or 2 days ago, when we talked about defensive AP setup, how it's so important to have the bowling ball on all your players, because when your opponents call toxic run concepts like this, you're going to end up with impact blocks everywhere. In fact, look at all the players that are super far downfield. Look at how all the coverage players are playing coverage on this draw. They have no idea that it is a run call. And this allows me to take this handoff and get downfield where I'm not being contacted until I'm about 5-6 yards downfield. Now, you see in the background, look at how the wide receivers are attacking here, particularly number 10 and number 7. And you see here how both of the players that they try to block have out my way or reinforcement, and they are able to throw those guys to the ground pretty easily, as does on the outside my honorary lineman with DK Metcalf. He gets shed as well. But nonetheless, the draw call, in spite of a awesome defensive rep by all my players in coverage, was still a successful call. And then in that, we basically got about 6 or 7 yards. Now, here's the thing about this. In my opinion, draws have probably the least read and react AI potential of all run styles in the game that aren't RPOs. What I mean by that is you guys know that when you run the ball inside zone, off tackle, stretch over and over and over, eventually the defense starts basically auto playing it, where the linebackers will immediately run downhill and make a tackle. The defensive line oftentimes will just be on block just to kind of deter you from calling it. But the truth is with draws, because it is this pass set, you're going to notice that you're going to be able to get downfield. Now, in this example, you saw that my Vanguard won out. And this is what I'm talking about. So many players in this game will use safeties at linebacker or linebackers with like coverage abilities, zone hawk, universal coverage. You see here in this example, look at how my Vanguard completely plows through this run stuffer out my way Tremaine Edmonds. He is actually a quite good run stopper in this game. And you see right here in this rep, my Vanguard is able to win. But again, we're still dealing with issues where basically the players that I'm getting downfield do not have, for the most part, these abilities that will pancake. But that's where this is about to change. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start equipping my Vanguards at various spots on the field. So I've got a fullback in the form of Lamar Jackson's out of position surge item that gets Vanguard. I've got a Cole Kmet that gets Vanguard. I've got a Dallas Goddard, that gets Vanguard. And you know what? I'm going to leave Metcalf with honorary lineman on the outside. I'm going to put Komet in the middle. So now what we're going to do here is we are going to snap the ball with our Vanguards, our nasty streaks, getting to that second level and hopefully laying some lumber. But before I get into snapping this football, make sure that you guys open up a tab and check out my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg. If you enjoy these unique tips and tricks that other channels don't really put out about calls like draws, you're going to learn a lot on my strategy website. You see, I did a tip on draws and how they don't really have read and react AI months and months ago in our vault. Our vault is a weekly updated set of tips curated specifically for you to attack the trends of Madden, whether it's countering a pro strategy or giving you guys something that has not been put out there before so you can take it out for a spin and dominate what pros are doing and thus what everyone else is online doing. You guys will be able to take a look at all of the vault content that I put out on the website for just $9.95. And this goes all the way back to August. Go and poke around in the September vault and think, man, I didn't learn that until October, November, December. Or take a look at the stuff around Christmas and realize we were ahead of the curve in terms of, oh, I didn't know that until February around the Super Bowl time. The vault is the best place to stay ahead of the trends and also know the trends that are growing, predicting those types of things. And you guys will get access to all offensive and defensive game plans in a members only Discord where we have over 3,000 members that are helping each other all the time. So make sure you guys go check it out. We also have lab sessions in our Discord on Wednesday evenings. So make sure you guys check our announcements. I give you guys updates on when content goes live on the website. Best deal in the tip space, best time to test out the website because I've got pre-sale offers for 26, whether it's college football or Madden right around the corner. All right, so now let's go ahead and show you guys what these Vanguards on draws are gonna start to look like. And you see here that it looks a lot better. In fact, you notice that across the board here, we actually had the downfield blocks were not shed at all, which gave us the ability to veer outside. You'll notice here in this example, for whatever reason, I did not get my right guard to target up to the player that ultimately made the play. But look in the background at these blocking animations and look at how one of the guys went to the ground and the other two are just glued onto their blocker. Furthermore, if we were to look backside here, once contact is usually made on the backside, if you have a heavier Vanguard, usually this is going to result in a pancake. I talked about how Vanguards do rely a little bit on weight and size and things of that nature as well. But this time I'm going to go ahead and slide protect left here so that way I can get a player up to that second level. And there you go. You see that I was able to neutralize that out of my way. Didn't get a pancake, but he didn't get in out of my way. And you saw that Quentin Nelson with his Vanguard nasty streak combo was able to really do a good job of just getting an impact block. He actually did get run over, but it wasn't consequential to us getting tackled. And then you see downfield, I mean, look at Lamar just completely depleting a guy. Look at first contact on the play. The ball's spotted here at the 40. We are getting down to basically the 30 before first contact, and we're running a run that really doesn't require any read and react AI. Now, of course, like I said, you could do full slide. So if you want to do, get everybody going out to the left, that's going to help open up things. This is going to change the holes that you might call. If I full slide the other direction, you're going to see here that, yes, it can sometimes run you into problems. So lab effectively based off of your formation. I think half slides are a little bit better just because it's going to get one specific lineman up to that level. You saw right there that we got pretty good protection. It also changes the targeting of tight ends. You can motion players across to, kind of widen out the defense a little bit. You see right here, I'm kind of taking guys away. There you go. Pancake there. Again, look at where the first contact is. This is my defense that is built to counter this. And you still see that even though my defense is built to counter this, it doesn't really stand a chance in the realm of like, we're not actually getting, contact on the ball carrier. We're not shedding because it's not truly a run play. These guys are dropping back into coverage. And then by the time they realize it's a run, I'm already 5-6 yards downfield and they've got to deal with Vanguards with a full head of steam. This is a direct difference to running like an off tackle. Don't get me wrong. These are good runs and they can get you pancakes as well. I think the bunch tight end off tackle is the best run in the game. But if you guys don't have bunch tight end in your playbook, you're definitely looking at draw calls in general. I think these are just so good. You know, you can put your opponent in a spot where they have to widen out their defense, and then from there, it's basically just about, you know, following your blockers efficiently. I mean, look at the pancakes in the background. In this example, I probably need an extra player because it's 6 in the box against 5. But again, if you can make that guy miss, like if you can get off and make him miss, then from there, you're looking at the pancakes downfield. Again, in this rep, I haven't subbed in my vanguards, but as you might imagine, again, this is a win for the defense, and I don't have, you know, the vanguards and the nasty streaks. You see right here that number 7 gets absolutely destroyed by the reinforcement here, and if I had a, you know, a nasty streak blocker in the slot here, we get a better effort on the Brock Bowers item, who ends up making this play. So again, make sure you guys lab this. This is a crazy good concept. It's so good against 4-down linemen as well. If you guys are really good against the loop blitz meta, you know how to run on that, but maybe you struggle a little bit with people that switch stick out of base coverages and stop the run well out of like a 4-2 alignment, draws are killer. Draws are absolutely killer, especially if you get a tight end in the formation that can pick up that 6th player in the box and you don't run it like a 5-on-6 like this, you'll be living. So make sure you guys go check that out. I'm gonna get up out of here. Have a good weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday. Until then, this is Zan. Get lab and good luck.